Life is Sweeter Within, Growing Light. Volume 2, The Sweeter Edition, written by Joseph Kelly. Introduction, Unveiling the Radiant Heart. Have you ever held a perfectly ripe orange in your hands, feeling its gentle weight, sensing the promise held within its protective skin? There's something almost sacred about that moment before peeling, a pause filled with anticipation, knowing that beneath the resilient exterior lies something extraordinary. The orange doesn't apologize for its tough outer layer. It simply exists, whole and complete, waiting for someone brave enough to begin the gentle work of unveiling what has always been there. This is where we find ourselves now, you and I standing at the threshold of a deeper exploration into the profound sweetness that resides within your own being. If our first journey together in a voyage of extraordinary growth was about discovering the tools for transformation and building the foundation of self-efficacy, then this expanded exploration is about something far more intimate, learning to peel back the protective layers of conditioning, fear, and learned responses to reveal the luminous core of who you truly are. The sweet revolution. In a world that often mistakes gentleness for weakness and vulnerability for fragility, there exists a quiet revolution. This movement is led not by those who shout the loudest or armor themselves the heaviest, but by those courageous enough to remain tender. Your sweetness is not a flaw to be corrected or a weakness to be strengthened. It is quite possibly your greatest source of power. But here's what makes this journey both beautiful and complex. Accessing this inner sweetness requires the same patient, mindful process as peeling an orange. You cannot rush it, you cannot force it. You must begin at the edges, finding that first small opening where your fingertip can slip beneath the surface. Then slowly, carefully, you begin to separate what protects from what nourishes, what defends from what truly sustains. Each piece of rind that falls away brings you closer to the essence that has been waiting patiently within you all along. Each limiting belief you release, each defensive pattern you recognize and gently set aside, reveals more of your authentic sweetness. Just as the orange's protective skin serves its purpose by preserving the fruit's integrity until the moment of ripening, your own protective mechanisms have served you well. They are not enemies to be conquered, but faithful guardians to be honored and, when the time is right, gradually thanked and released. The orange magic of transformation. As you begin this process of gentle unveiling, something remarkable happens. The very act of peeling back your own layers creates what we might call the orange magic. When you allow yourself to be seen, to be vulnerable, to be authentically present, you create a profound alchemy between your inner warmth and the world's hunger for genuine connection. Just as the scent of orange oil is released when the peel breaks open, filling the air with its distinctive fragrance, your own process of opening releases something equally transformative. Your willingness to be real, to show up as you are rather than as you think you should be, creates an invisible but palpable shift in every space you enter. People sense something different about you, a quality of presence that invites them to relax their own defenses, to remember their own capacity for sweetness. This transformation doesn't require you to become perfect or eliminate all challenges from your life. The orange doesn't become less nutritious because it requires peeling. In fact, the process of careful opening often makes its sweetness even more precious, more intentional, more savored. Similarly, your journey toward emotional mastery and authentic living becomes more meaningful precisely because it requires courage, patience, and the willingness to stay tender in a world that often demands toughness. The four golden threads throughout this expanded exploration will weave together four essential threads that, when combined, create what I call the fabric of radiant living. Emotional sovereignty emerges as you learn to maintain your inner sweetness regardless of external circumstances. Like the orange that remains sweet whether the day is sunny or stormy, you'll discover how to cultivate an internal climate of warmth and compassion that doesn't depend on others' responses or life's unpredictable nature. Relational mastery unfolds as you learn to build trust through the vulnerable authenticity of showing your true self. Just as sharing segments of a fresh orange creates connection and nourishment for everyone involved, your willingness to be genuine, creates the psychological safety necessary for deep, meaningful relationships. Sustainable growth develops through understanding the cycles and patterns that either support or drain your natural vitality. Like an orange tree that requires proper seasons of rest and growth, you'll learn to recognize the rhythms that allow your sweetness to flourish rather than become depleted. Wise action emerges from the clarity that comes when you know what you can and cannot control, what deserves your energy, and what requires your acceptance. This wisdom allows you to channel your natural caring nature in ways that create positive change rather than exhausting overwhelm. The architecture of sweet transformation. What sets this exploration apart is its recognition that true transformation happens not through force or rigid discipline, but through the gentle, persistent practice of peeling away what no longer serves. Just as removing an orange's rind requires finding the natural separation points where the skin easily lifts away, your own growth happens most gracefully when you work with your natural rhythms and inherent wisdom rather than against them. Each chapter in this journey builds upon the last, creating a comprehensive framework for living with both strength and tenderness. You'll discover practical tools for maintaining your emotional equilibrium, strategies for building trust in relationships without losing yourself, and wisdom for navigating the complexities of modern life while keeping your heart open and your spirit bright. The invitation to begin. As we embark on this journey together, I invite you to approach each chapter, each concept, each moment of self-discovery with the same gentle patience you would bring to peeling an orange. There's no need to tear or force. There's no race to finish. There's only the quiet, sacred work of revealing what has always been true about you. You may find that some layers come away easily, while others require more time and tenderness. You may discover that certain protective patterns served you well for many years and deserve gratitude even as you choose to release them. You may notice that the process itself brings its own form of nourishment and joy. This gradual unveiling of your authentic self creates a deepening sense of coming home to yourself. What awaits you is not a destination, but a way of being. Not a problem solved, but a life lived with increasing authenticity, connection, and yes, sweetness. The world needs what you carry within you, not the polished, perfected version you think you should become, but the beautifully human, courageously vulnerable, radiantly sweet person you already are beneath all the protective layers. So let us begin this gentle work of unveiling. Let us discover together how the simple act of peeling back what no longer serves can reveal the extraordinary sweetness that was always there, waiting patiently for the moment when you would be ready to share it with yourself and the world. The orange in your hands is ready, your heart is ready. The invitation to live more sweetly, more authentically, more courageously is before you now. Will you join me in this most tender and transformative of revolutions?